What's up, baddies? Welcome back to the RayBadGal lifestyle channel. Y'all already know what's up. Let's get into this hairstyle video. So I'm actually realizing this is, I think, the first time I have a hair video on my page where my hair is straight. So this is my natural hair while it is straightened. I actually got a silk press, I want to say about 5 days ago, and I haven't been doing anything to my hair. I haven't even been wrapping it. Oh my god, I know. So I started off by combing my hair with the wide tooth comb just to get rid of any tangles, and then I grabbed a rat tail comb. I'm going to use this to get out any leftover gel I had in my edges from earlier this day. Then, just to make sure my hair is super straight for this hairstyle, I just grab a flat iron and I'm going to use that and the rat tail comb to straighten my hair completely. Whenever I'm dealing with my natural hair, I always use a flat iron on a medium heat setting in order to preserve my hair and limit heat damage. So I believe at this time I was using my flat iron on a 300-degree heat setting. I also wanted to note that this step is not completely necessary, so if you wanted to skip over putting heat to your hair, feel free. Now I'm taking a rat tail comb to create my middle part. I'm going to use the tail end of my comb and kind of just line it up with my septum of my nose in order to make sure I'm getting it directly in the middle of my scalp. And then I flip the comb over and I use the other end of the comb in order to help create my part. I did this entire part in the iPhone camera, so I'm actually pretty surprised it came out this straight. Look at me.
You know you ain't pay for this.
Now that we've parted our hair, we're just going to pin up one half of the head to get it out of the way while we work on ponytailing. So in order to create our ponytail, we're going to use our rat tail comb again and just comb upwards towards the position of where the ponytail is going to be. We want to make sure that it is as flat as it possibly can be. This is important.
You know you ain't pay for this.
At this time, it's also very important to position your ponytail where you want your bow to be. Your bow is going to be relatively large, so you don't want it too close to the center of the part. You want it more so in the middle. You also want to make sure the bow isn't too far back or too far forward on your head. So the positioning is very important. Just play around with it until you know you've achieved what you're looking for. So I originally was going to use a small black rubber band to ponytail my hair, and if my hairstylist is watching this, she's going to murder me because she hates when I use these things on my hair. But I was going to use this because it's very minimal and you won't be able to see it when you create your bow or anything like that. But we were having technical difficulties, as you can see, and the rubber band just wasn't going to work. So this was take one. I tried to ponytail my hair and whoops, there she goes. And there's the frustration written all over my face.
You know you ain't pay for this.
So Clearly, I decided to try again with a small black rubber band, and once again, it was an epic fail. So after another stubborn attempt, I went ahead and just grabbed a hair tie. Another reason why I didn't want to use a hair tie is because I only had this orange colored one that I could find, and I knew it was going to be an eyesore, but whatever, it held up. So we're going to use this instead of the black rubber band. It's also healthier for your hair. So if you have a thin hair tie that is black to use, then that would probably be ideal. Clearly, we're going to do the same thing to the opposite side of our hair. Same rules apply as far as combing your hair upwards and making sure that it's super flat, no lumps, no bumps. You also want to make sure it's super symmetrical. Once again, I'm going to stress how essential it is for you to have your ponytail symmetrical. I mean, you got to get a ruler out and measure these things, because at the end of the day, it will look awful if they aren't. We're moving on to the edges. I'm grabbing my toothbrush that I use for my edges, and while it's dry, there's no product on the brush at this time. I'm just going to brush all of my edges forward. This step can also be considered optional, but I mean, seriously, imagine doing this hairstyle without edges. EcoStyler Olive Oil edge control works the best for my hair, whether it's straight or curly. So that's what I'm using right now. I use a very, very minimal amount of it. I do not put much on the brush at all. I recommend just playing around with your edges. Everyone's hairline is different. Everyone's edges are different. So you know what's best for your hair and your hair type. Okay, so I accidentally didn't recognize that my camera wasn't recording when I did the left side of my head, which is fine because that was really just a rough time anyways. Now that I've got my crap together, we're gonna do the right side together, okay? So what I'm doing is I'm taking that small black rubber band now, and this time it's actually going to work. And I am looping my hair through the rubber band backwards. It may be easier to follow along visually because it's hard to explain, but essentially the same way you make a bun, you're going to do for this. And you want to make sure you don't loop the entire ponytail. You want to leave a good amount of hair left at the ends. So now I'm going to separate that bun in half in order to create the two opposite sides of the bow. Quick disclaimer, you're going to need a crap ton of bobby pins to achieve this style. As you can see, I'm going to grab a couple of bobby pins and help place the bun, or this half of the bun, to my scalp. Otherwise, it was super bouncy and loose, so the bobby pins are going to help secure the half of the bow so that it stays in place. After that, you're going to need to grab some Got To Be Glued freeze spray, and we're going to use this product to help mold the shape of the bow. While the spray is drying, you need to use this time to help mold your hair and create the shape of the bow. Use your hands and your fingertips to help shape the hair. This part is going to take some time, but you want to continue these steps in order to create the bows. So continue to spray the Got To Be Glued freeze spray and use the bobby pins to help secure the bow down to your head until you have the shape that you're looking for. Also, a good alternative to the Got To Be Glued freeze spray would be spritz. I originally wanted to use spritz, but I'm not too fond of using it on my natural hair when it's straight. So I optioned for the Got To Be instead, but the spritz will definitely keep your hair molded. Now we're going to grab the leftover piece of that ponytail that's hanging out, and that is what's going to be used to create the middle of the bow and really create the bow visual that we're looking for. We're going to grab that hair. You can comb it out if you need to. Otherwise, you're just going to fold it over the middle of the bow and then use a bobby pin to tack it down. Again, achieving this style is a process, so as soon as it got to be glued, you want to continue with rounds of it until the hair is completely molded. So here you can see me stretching out and separating that half of the bow again to give it more volume and more height. And then after I get that achieved with my fingertips, I'm going to grab my freeze spray again and help mold the hair. So I continue to do a continuation of these steps as far as bobby pinning, using the freeze spray, and using my hands to help mold while it dries. You want to continue these steps and repeat until those bows are there for you. I did the bulk of that work off camera because it's super monotonous and repetitive, but essentially we're just repeating the steps that we've done once before. Don't get discouraged, keep at it. The more Got To Be Glued you use or spritz that you use on your hair, the more your hair will dry and become molded, and that will create the bow shape that we're looking to achieve.
You know you ain't pay for this.
After about 15 minutes of this process, I finally finished, and I can't wait to show you guys the finished product. I am in love.